Hey guys, John here from Bring the SEO. Today I want to take a quick moment to talk about payment terms and the way in which you should handle payments, including sending manual invoices, automated billing, and so forth. Today I had lunch with one of the members, one of the newest members who enrolled recently for the SEO Accelerator program. And he was asking me various questions around how best to deal with a client who was constantly making late payment. Of course, when you're dealing with clients who either, non-payments or late payments, it can cause, all sorts of problems within your business. Let's face it. It's just not an enjoyable part of running an SEO agency. Now, this is nothing new to me. I have had this conversation with a number of other SEO consultants, one of which comes to mind who is in arrears $33,000. There was $33,000 worth of work unpaid and outstanding, which is absolutely mental. Now, I scribbled down some notes today. I want to share these with you because the way in which you handle payments, your payment terms, processing payment, and all of these other things to do with ensuring that you get paid and get paid on time are incredibly important, because if you're dealing with late or non-payments, it can create a level of noise within your agency, which is just, it's a problem that shouldn't exist. And if you're constantly dealing with this issue, then you're just going to be wasting time. Whoever's handling billing or accounts, they're going to be like pulling their hair out trying to chase down, late or outstanding payments. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of quick points that I've scribbled down in my notes here in preparation for this video. And some of these points I discussed with this particular member over lunch today. But the first thing that I'll say, and this is probably something that you need to be mindful of first before you go about implementing your payment terms and processing payments and everything else. But you need to get really clear about your payment terms, because without question, you will get requests from prospects and new clients all the time who want to make payments in a way in which suits them, right? And I scribbled a couple down here, and these are just a few off the top of my head, some that I've experienced, some that I've seen others experience, and I'm sure I could probably add a shitload more to this list, but here's a couple just quickly. The first one, can we get a discount? Okay, if you don't offer discounts, well, that can be quite annoying, and that's a common request. The next is, we don't want to pay that way. Can we pay via PayPal? Can we pay via internet banking? Can we pay via a credit card, or can we send a check in the mail? These. You'd be surprised the sort of requests that I've experienced over the years. Some of these I have. Next, can we pay after the work has been done? This is one that I experienced a number of years ago. What do you mean? You're sending me an invoice here like you haven't done the work yet? That didn't last too long. That campaign. Here's another one. We don't want automated billing. Okay. Next, we want 90-day terms or 60-day terms. In other words, you can send us as many invoices as you like, but where it's got to go through our accounting process, and it has to be approved. And in the meantime, just carry on work, and we'll pay you when we feel like it within that 60 or 90-day period, which is just beyond frustrating. And lastly, we want manual invoices. We want, we've got to be able to show our marketing department or our accounts department, we need a physical invoice and blah, blah, blah. So these are the sorts of requests that you'll get from clients who, again, want you to accommodate their payment terms, or the way in which they want to make payment in order to suit them. Now, the problem with, and I'm sure there'll be people watching this video that'll be saying, oh, well, that's all well and good, John. Like, if you get payment, just take payment or however you can get it. But the problem is, if you say yes and start agreeing to all of these different payment options, it's going to be an absolute nightmare trying to run your business, because you're going to be looking in several different places trying to follow up on accounts. Wait a minute. Has this person made payment? Wait a minute, we don't have an account with these guys. They want to, okay, so we're going to have to set this account up. It just becomes an absolute nightmare. So what I would recommend, and this is what I do, find one, maybe two channels where you accept payment and give those options to the prospect or client. If you say at any point, oh, look, we don't normally take payment or accept payment that way, but we'll make an exception this time, you've lost control. And that's when the problems start. And you'll lose all of that time chasing down late and non-payments. Now, I've scribbled down 5 key points here that I want you to take away from this video. And these are the recommendations that I made with the member that I met up with today for lunch. Number 1, automate billing. Billing must be automated. You shouldn't be mucking around sending manual invoices because it just doesn't make sense. Payment needs to come out every single month, month after month, without any sort of manual input. The only manual input that should be required is cancellations. Hey, we're selling the business, or we've got an illness in the company at the moment, whatever the reason might be. That should be the only time that there should be any sort of manual input around payments, cancellations. The next, point 2, get paid first. You must get paid first. I can't stress this enough, and I talk about this at length in the SEO Accelerator program. Get paid first. Have to get paid first. You should not be doing the work and then sending an invoice. This is less so of a problem in the SEO space. Web design, web developers are notorious for doing this. They build a site, then they send an invoice and hope to get paid. It just doesn't work, and it leaves you completely vulnerable to non-payment. So point 2, get paid first. Point 3, set your payment terms. Okay, sit down. If you've got business partners or if you're working as an independent contractor, sit down and have a think about, okay, how do we want to accept payment? Again, pick 1 or 2 different channels. I myself personally just have one. It's a simple checkout page where the customer enters in their name, their credit card details and everything else. It has confirmation. It's just like buying a product, right? I myself use Stripe with Thrive carts or checkout pages. It's so simple. I just send them a payment link and say, as soon as payment clears, we can get started, which is a great way of wording it because it makes them aware that nothing is going to take place. No work's going to start until they make payment, which is a great motivator. But I'm a big fan of Stripe with Thrive carts, a simple checkout page, like I said, name, email, phone, company details, credit card, bam, payment. And every single month they get billed. So set your payment terms. Get really clear about the way in which you're willing to accept payment. Don't offer a million different things. Offer one thing. Next, point 4, make your payment terms clear within your services agreement. Even if you're not using lock-in contracts, you should be sending a services agreement. And in that services agreement, it should stipulate your payment terms clearly, right? So late payment, non-payment, expired credit cards, whatever it might be, that all needs to be accommodated for and outlined clearly in your services agreement, which the client should sign as part of client onboarding. And lastly, point 5, enforce your payment terms. Can't stress this enough. It's all well and good to say do these things, but if you're not enforcing them and you make exceptions because someone asked for it, oh, John, we don't have a valid credit card yet. We haven't been approved. We're still setting up accounts. Can we just pay this one time via PayPal? And you say, wouldn't normally do it, but we'll make an exception. Bam, you're out. You've lost control. So point 5, you must enforce your payment terms, even if it means having awkward or uncomfortable conversations. And look, I'll share one quick tip with you to make this really easy. A great way of saying no without it coming across sounding gruff is to say, listen, Bob, as much as we'd like to be able to say yes to this and allowing you to, and letting you make payment via PayPal, we've tried this in the past, and unfortunately, it's just led to nothing but problems. So unfortunately, we no longer provide that option. That's a really soft way of saying no. So keep these points in mind. Enforce your payment terms, set your payment terms, get paid in advance, and stop letting clients dictate the way in which payment should not only be made, but when they choose to make payment. Okay? All right, hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn more, head over to bringtheseo.com. We provide business development training for SEO consultants wanting to improve their processes, increase profits, and scale to $100,000 a month or more without all the stress and overwhelm.